obviously, talking to some of the guys after the game, talking to Sheldon after the game, there was so much disappointment about the way things played out in Colorado, but that this really feels, no matter who the opponent would have been, that this is a big game for you guys, in terms of response.
Yeah, like you said, we all know how last game went. Today is just a matter of bouncing back to our game. It's a good test for us. We're playing a really dangerous team, team that just knows exactly how to score. A lot of young, skilled, fast players that'll make you pay if you get out of your system and your structure, and just a good test for us to bounce back and do the right thing.
How much about that bounce back process is literally just about doing those little things right that maybe you didn't see in that game?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It takes care of itself.
Yeah, last game, similar to today, played a dangerous power play team with a lot of skilled players that if you take too many penalties, you get out of your structure like we talked about, they'll make you pay. So, no, it's a good test for us, good game. We got a motivating group. We want to bounce back on the winning train and get a good test today.
Well, obviously, the extreme disappointment from the group was palatable the other day in Colorado. What do you guys need to do sort of in terms of resetting yourselves here?
Yeah, just getting back to the things that we were doing so well during our winning streak. I think we got away from a lot of stuff last game. Obviously, Colorado is a really good team, but now we kind of move on. We had a day off yesterday, some meetings this morning to look at things that we have to do to get back to having success. Today, a team that's very skilled offensively. They're going to make you pay if you make mistakes. So for us, it's about getting back to the structure, the foundations of our game that make us a successful team.
You hit on it right there, right? It's those little things in your game that you guys were able to build over that win streak that you got away from. How important is just that process, knowing that when you play that way, you guys have every indication of winning?
Yeah. Those first 10 games, we showed what we can do, but we also know we can do these things even better, and we have to as the season goes on, and we can respect every opponent. It's going to be the case tonight again, and after a game like that, you're not happy, so it's about what kind of character we show, the way we come out tonight, and it's going to be a big game for us.
Your game has maybe adjusted this year. You've gone off to a good start, and is there different preparations? You just feel more comfortable. What's worked well for you so far this season?
As a team, if we play well, obviously we help each other, and it's fun when you're winning. So I think for everybody individually, you want to build every game. You want to get better together as a team. Individually, you want to work on your game and take steps forward.
When the Sharks played you guys last week, it was a pretty physical game. You were, I would say, right at the center of that. Is there a little extra edge into your game when you play the Sharks?
I think every opponent. That's my type of game. When I'm playing well, I'm playing physical, and doesn't matter who you're playing. I got to use that strength and play physical on both sides of the puck.
If you go to prison, how a team putting you in prison, so to speak, how do you not get frustrated? How do you get out of it when they're giving you trouble in the offensive zone, especially with an F3 that's up high?
Yeah, we gotta. It's really important that you set up the next line, and sometimes there's going to be teams that they create momentum. You're on the road, you're playing in buildings that sometimes the teams feed off the crowd. So you just got to break those momentums with, smart decisions. If it's in the defensive zone with blocking a shot, holding on to a puck, making a play, when things around you, might look like the other team has the momentum.
When Brett Pesce's not available, do you realize how valuable he is to your team?
Yes, he's a super valuable player for us, and especially penalty kill and all defensive stuff. He's a very, very good player for us. So obviously, it's too bad he's injured, but we have other guys with the depth to fill those roles.
Sheldon, we talked post-game how, you were interested in seeing what the response is going to be from your team, how they, choose to bounce back here. How much is it not just about the result, but the process in the game to get there? And what are those key things that you look for?
Well, from a coaching perspective, it's always about the process and how the team is playing. I think it's important for us as coaches to keep our thumb on top of that and having that be the priority, thinking that if that's in order, more often than not, we're going to get the result that we want. With that said, sometimes you just got to find ways to get your points. So, when we go into games, we're talking about process, and this is no different here, especially coming off of that type of game. It's let's just get back to our game here quickly and doing what we do well, and we've done that through 10 games more often than not, and the results have worked in our favor, so we're looking to do that again here tonight.
It looked like at morning skate you've gone back to 2 defensive pairings that you've used throughout the season so far. Is that important to you right now to maybe have a little bit of that stability, or is it?
Yeah, we think so. Obviously, we tried a different type of approach in the last game. Different team, different lineup, and all those kind of things here today. So this group, we want to get some familiarity that can play against their top players, and then we have the 2 young guys with Luke and Case together. So and they'll move around a little bit here and there too, but it's just that look that we liked, coming into tonight, and we'll give it a go.
Also in the post game, you said our PK was due for a bad night and their power play was due for a good night. Obviously, top tier goals from McKinnon out on the flank. But what did you see from the PK that maybe fell through that we haven't seen in the first?
We're missing number 22. You look to see where those goals came from. That's exactly where 22 would be standing. And a lot of those pucks aren't finding their way through. So that's one thing. All of a sudden, guys are playing a little bit more in a little bit different spots against different power play units, first units versus second units, like all those kind of things start to happen, and obviously we didn't meet the challenge. So it's more to it than that. We didn't do a good enough job on the entries either. So it's just a good opportunity for us to reset and get back to what has worked extremely well for us.
Sheldon, last week against the Sharks, you matched up Nico Hischier against Macklin Celebrini a lot, and he's been playing really well lately. It just looked like you guys were able to bottom up. What worked so well against Macklin last week?
Well, I don't know. I think it took us a while to get there, quite honestly. I thought they gave it to us pretty good in the first period. We're down 1 early, and then they got a second one that got taken off the board with a high stick. Their team was coming at us, and I think Celebrini was really good early. So it took us a while to get there, and it's not easy. He's been playing really well, driving a lot of things for their team. Obviously, he's a tremendous young player, and it's not even right to say young. He's just a tremendous player in the league. Period. So you've got to be aware of it. But Nico, he takes those challenges seriously. He's got just great skill set. He's hard in the face-off dot, and then he's got great sense. He's got good stick, good awareness. He's a great offensive player in his own right, but he prioritizes the defensive side of it and takes it serious. And for all those reasons, that's why he's a big leader on our team, and it's obvious with the C.
When you play a team only twice a year, is it almost better to schedule it so that it's reasonably close for pre-scout, for preparation, and for memory, really?
Yeah, we talked about this the other day in Colorado, that it does make it a little easier, or a lot easier from a coaching perspective in terms of managing our time and getting the team prepared and all of that. At the same time, as we learned the other day, what is extremely challenging to do in the league is to beat a team twice in quick succession. It's hard to do, and it's just you get the mental side of it. You get a little bit of an edge on a team one night, and they come back with a little. A little more motivated, a little more buttoned up the second time around. All those kind of things come into play too. So that's an area clearly where we have to be far better.
Outside of maybe staying out of the box, is it another area that you need to see improvement from the last game?
Well, our defense of the rush was non-existent, and that's been a strength of ours as a team. And it was the previous time we played Colorado. So, yeah, just our structure being above speed. Our defensive reads when we have breakdowns, at times we got caught a little bit, but then we compounded the problem by running outside the dots and exposing the middle, letting guys get in alone and free and clear. So, yeah, not a good day for us in that regard, but like I said, it had been a strength of ours for the previous, it would have been 8 games. The 2 games that we've lost this year, Carolina, Colorado, we've been a disaster in that area. So we don't have to look very far to see what the recipe is and what we've got to get right no matter who we're playing.
What's it say about Macklin that in that last game, you're throwing your Selke-worthy center against him, you're putting out Timo, physical force like Timo against him, trying to hard match those guys against him. Just what's it say about a 19-year-old player?
I think he got a hat trick the night before across the river before we played him, so it's pretty obvious going against it that, it's just such a strong player. He's a great talent. Just shows that, those guys are earning their respect in the league, and as they should be. And it's not just those guys, it's them as a team. That's, I think they've already scored 6 goals 3 times, I think it is, during the season as a team. And we felt that, they gave it to us pretty good in the first period back home, and took us a bit to find our game and sort of adjust to the speed and pace that those guys can bring. Yeah, so I think that's just what it is. And the reality is, no matter who we were playing, the other team's top players are getting eco as best we can. It's a lot harder to do when you get it on the road. But, no question that, this team and so many around the league like it, that got young, exciting talent. These guys are difference makers in the league. And if you're not organized and play a good, sound game, then they're going to make you look bad. And San Jose's done that a number of times. And as we've just talked about, times when we're not buttoned up with our own structure, and then we don't look very good. So we've got to be great here today. Looking forward to the response.
How do you think Silverning has improved from last year?
I thought he was tremendous last season, so I don't see them enough or watch them close enough other than the games we've played here to really comment on that. I was really impressed with him last season. I just thought he's an exceptional player. Tremendous confidence, plays with his head up all over the ice and sees things very well. But I've yet to find a weakness in his game, so it's hard to find with a young player coming into the league, and they certainly have got a good one.